back. I'm here with Hannah. She slept over. We're having breakfast. I'm having my Keep It Simple mug, which is one of my favorites. I mean, I love all my mugs, but I mean, there's just some that are better. It is Thursday, 12th of April. Yes. Yeah, that's right. It is such a beautiful freaking day. Oh my God. It's gonna be 80 today. Black car. We have a biology field trip, and so we're listening to music, which you probably can't hear. But I still can't get over, yes, I'm vlogging. I still can't get over how freaking beautiful it is outside. Look at the sky. No clouds. No clouds. It's so pretty. I think this is the nicest day of the year. Sebastian, isn't it so pretty outside?
Yes.
It feels
I wish
like
I wore
summer.
shorts, but I didn't.
You know how much this makes me excited for summer? What? Sure.
KGR.photos. That's my Instagram account.
There you go.
It's K-Walk, man. For the guys, man. You don't get it.
I'm probably gonna cut that one out. You have a business?
Yeah, KGR.
Cool. I do not have a business.
Me too.
I have a YouTube channel.
I have a student ID
Brittany June.
and no employment.
We're at some research center. Donald Danforth Plant Science Center. All right. Let's learn some biology. Woo! Oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Quiet, 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 quiet. I didn't film that, but he just tripped. Behind you. Back home, we had an interesting day of school today. Let me change and then tell you about it. Okay, I'm changed. Look how red my face is. I think this is just from being outside, because I went outside and I had a chat with my teacher, my Mrs. Hemke, my theater arts teacher, and look at that. I mean, I'm usually red, but not this red. Anyway, that just shows how hot it was today. It was really warm. It was, I'm trying to learn Celsius. So it was 27 degrees Celsius, which is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit today. And on Sunday, either Saturday or Sunday, it's going to drop back down to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 3 or 4 degrees. I don't even think that's, I think it's probably 1 or 2, because it's probably like 2 degrees Celsius. Anyway, what I want to talk to you, my school, at the end of school, we had this assembly where they showed us a documentary about technology and the effect it has on teenagers. A lot of the kids were like, well, they were middle schoolers, so I don't know if it completely is like, I mean, it's applicable, but not completely to high schoolers. But they like gave the example of this one girl, and it was like she didn't have a phone, and her mom was like considering whether or not to give her a phone, and her mom was like, give me 3 reasons why I should give you 3 good reasons why I should give you a phone. Like, how would you convince me? And she was like, well, all my friends have one, and I want to get more connected to my friends. And then she got distracted from a text, or maybe it was a Snapchat, on her iPod that she has. And then she looked at it, laughed at it for like a second, then looked back to her mom and was like, what were we talking about? What was the question? Oh my gosh. So I can see why technology would be bad for like engaging in conversation and relationships, but I also feel like part of that isn't technology, it's like the person. Because personally, or maybe it's the parents and raising the kids and how they raised it. Okay, let me tell you my technology experience. I had the first phone I ever got, I shared with my other 2 siblings, which my sister hogged, by the way. I was 8, my sister was 9, and my brother was 10 or 11. We're each 18 months apart, so it's not like exact when we got it. And so this was in 2008, and it was a flip phone, and so we shared it, and we only used it for communication. So there were no games on it, no music, no internet, or anything that. It was just, we could text, and it was one of the flip phones where you have to like tap one thing multiple times for it to get a letter. So it was very annoying to text. It took forever. And so we mostly called, which I think also is one of the influences to my family today. We're a very like calling family. I guess that makes sense. We FaceTime and we call. We don't text. I mean, we do text, but not about important things. If there's like an important thing that we have to talk about, some families like will text about it, or even like, I don't know if families communicate, but our family does. We will call and we'll talk because that's just more efficient. And I think part of that was like the phone that we had at the beginning. And so my sister eventually wanted to get another phone, and so they got my sister like one of those like ones that you flip up and then you can text like that. And then my brother wanted one, and so they both got those kinds of phones, which were still texting and communication, nothing like special. And then I got left with a flip phone, and I had that flip phone until 7th grade, and then in 7th grade I got my siblings' old phones, and they got iPhones, and I got my first iPhone at the end of 8th grade, I want to say. And so for me, I didn't start having social media. I didn't have a Facebook account or not even a Facebook account. And by the time I got a Facebook account, Facebook stopped being cool because like Facebook is mostly for your parents now. I didn't have any like social media. Does anyone else remember? Oh, what was it called? IMing, I think. Like I don't even remember what it was called. My sister was on it all the time. It was like basically like texting from your computer after school. And so I did that sometimes, but my sister was much more involved in the technology stuff than I was. My brother did video games. We all did Webkins when I was a kid, but I didn't have any like social media connecting to people and all that stuff until I was pretty much a freshman in high school, so just a few years ago. And I feel like that's a lot better than... Oh, someone's here. Hi! Yeah. So my dad is home. And
I will not contribute to the...
Why? You might have interest... You're the parent. Because you gave me an iPhone when I was in 8th grade. At the end of 8th grade, you gave me an iPhone. Do you remember that? Before that, I had flip phones. Probably. What was your reasoning behind giving me starting me into social media?
That I didn't want you to be.
No, seriously. Were you like, okay, she can have an iPhone?
Mainly because it was safety.
But I already had a flip phone.
I don't know, because we were all on a plan.
Oh, so I had to do a financial reason.
And we never got you a new phone.
I never got a new phone.
The phone that you have in your hand is the only new phone you've ever had.
Yeah, everything else was hand me down.
Or about to be 18. Every phone you ever had was a hand me down. And that goes for everybody, because what we would do is I know the reason. So the reason why you had iPhones was because mom and dad had them, and you guys had flip phones. And as we upgraded our plan and upgraded our phones, we handed you down ours to save money, and we would give you our iPhones, and you thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we would continue to upgrade our phones until eventually you had your first hand-me-down iPhone.
Yeah. We had an iPad when we were younger.
We had a family iPad.
Yeah, we had a family iPad that we all shared.
Right.
There are some kids today that just have, like 7-year-olds just have their own iPad, and they're on it constantly.
It's crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
Do you have your own iPad?
How do you suggest that parents teach their kids to make their own fun, you know?
As long as possible.
Yeah.
Stickball. Play outside. Go outside.
Kick the can.
Kick the can. Play with friends. Have a neighborhood group of friends.
Yeah, true. That helped to have a neighborhood.
Yes, it doesn't exist anymore. Every day after school, I played with my 6 friends. We played touch football, tackle football, stickball, whatever, after school every day. We would ride bikes. We'd play cops and robbers. We would be outside because we didn't even
Katie and I used to pretend that our bikes were horses.
We didn't
and
even
we would
have
ride
video
them.
games.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we had that great hill on the opposite side of our house that are their neighbors, and we would go boo down riding on our bikes, and then we would try and stop in our driveway. We had a sweet deal.
Crash and
I feel like most kids don't understand that, and it drives me nuts.
No.
Like playing.
No, your children, you need to work hard at keeping them grounded. That's the term.
You let us go on Webkins on your computer, though.
Yeah, I was on a PC and we were monitoring it all the time. A lot different. You didn't know what the internet was. You didn't have access to the internet. We would set you up with an account, and that's the only place you could go was Webkins. And it taught you a lot. We also had, what were those things? We had leapfrog games.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we bought. Are you laughing at me because I'm just talking in your?
Keep talking.
But we would use technology for learning. We'd get leapfrog, and Josh loved it. It taught him quickly math and reading and everything. And so those are all excellent uses of technology when you were younger.
Yeah. I feel like you just have to, I think you just have to somehow teach your kids not to get addicted to it.
No, you don't teach them not to get addicted to it. You don't allow it to happen. You can't teach somebody, I don't think, to not be addicted to something. You just have to not introduce it to them. You can't say, here's a cigarette. Don't get addicted to it.
That's basically what they were doing at Josh's school. Remember?
When
Hey,
you
here's
teach
how
it-
you take
yeah,
these
here's how you
drugs.
take these
Don't do
drugs.
them.
Don't do it, though. Here's a loaded gun, but don't shoot it.
But that does teach kids self-control.
Got me for 30
Look
minutes.
how beautiful this pizza looks. Dad got sausage and mushroom, and she got mushroom.
Wild mushroom.
Wild mushroom. We're at CPK. I'm so ready to eat this. We're at Baskin Robbins. What'd you go for?
Chocolate fudge.
Ooh, I went for mint chip. Classic. I had Vegan of Venice rehearsal, and now we're back doing homework. Calculus is the death of again.
It's 11 o'clock.
Is it
and
11
I have
o'clock?
5 projects due tomorrow.
And we're listening to instrumental Christmas music on YouTube.
Classic Brittany.
Yeah. It helps calm me down, as in it relieves my stress. Yay! Okay, so it's late, and so we're gonna go to bed. Hannah's here with me again, because she's staying over. And tomorrow we're doing our senior prank, which she doesn't know about because she's a sophomore. She knows a little bit, but she doesn't know a lot. So I'm definitely gonna be vlogging that tomorrow morning and putting it up. So I'm gonna do that. This is the end of the vlog. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up.
And if you're not already subscribing, subscribe.
Yeah, and leave a comment if you have a question or comment you'd like to write down. I'd love to read it. And
Have a good night.
yeah, see you tomorrow.